All right, we have 9 hosts who have signed up. The Bumgarners, the Nash family, Chad and Brittany Thurman, the Ramies, the Taylors, the Wolf family, this one right here, and Brittany. The Murphy family, that's Dave and Stacy. The Landers family, and Mike and Becky White. So if you look at the host orientation sheet, the qualifications for being a host are very simple. Have a heart for people, okay? So you're loving people. I assume you believe that about yourself or you wouldn't have signed up. You're willing to open your place, okay? Someone said it should be open your home. I said, no, it's open your place. Because if you, for some reason, say my home won't hold people, you could pick another place, right? So someplace you have a right to take people. And then serve a snack. It doesn't have to be fancy or expensive, just something people can nibble on because it opens up conversation. And then the ability to turn on a DVD or some other type of playing video, whether it's from YouTube or off your computer or some form like that, all is fine. Below that, you see the curriculum we'll be talking about, and we'll skip over that. You can look at that on your own time. I want us to keep it simple, so I put these guidelines down so you'll know what to do. Within the next week, I would like for you to, for your own group, set a day, a time, and a place to meet weekly. Okay, and let me know or let Patrick know what day of the week, what time of that day, and your address. I need that information. Yes, sir.
Tracy had a question. Wanted to know how long would the session typically take? I think that will depend a little bit on you. I think it'd be recommended somewhere between 1 to 2 hours, probably not beyond 2 hours, an hour and a half, probably somewhere in that area. But you might keep it to just an hour, or you might go to 2 hours. It kind of depends a little bit on the group of what you're discussing.
Okay, I'm glad she brought that up. Since she brought that up, look at your booklet for a moment. We'll go back to your other sheet. The booklet is designed so that you can just pull the inside insert out one at a time through the 6 weeks. So it's not in order like a normal book. Get the inside insert, pull it out, that's your first one. Okay? So you'll do that for whoever shows up, and if you write their names on the front, then you'll get a track of who you've given to, and so on and so forth. At the end, I will show you how you can make a booklet out of it where they could actually read through it later on. But that's pretty simple. In that handout, there is an initial icebreaker question. Okay, so kind of gets them thinking in the right direction. So that's what you'll begin the actual session with, is that icebreaker question. I will provide you with my answers to every question. You don't have to use my answers. You don't have to use any answers. Okay, you can ask the question, listen to their answers, and say, okay, now we're going to watch the video. You don't have to approve or disapprove necessarily. All right? But you ask the icebreaker question, you'll watch the video. They range from about 11 minutes up to 13 or 14 minutes. The videos are not long. The curriculum is in there. Obviously, there'll be fill in the blanks for them to handle. Once the video is done, there are 2 sections of questions. You don't have to feel like you make it through all of them, okay? Depending on the time, depending on the attention of the people, okay? Depending on your willingness to put up with them, or whatever it is. The first section of questions are intended to be more doctrinal, okay, and more from what does the Bible say about this topic. The second section is more about application. What are you supposed to do about it? Okay, that's the intention. It's not perfect, but that's kind of the way it's designed. All right. Once you have exhausted the time that you have allotted, and I would be careful not to go too long. Okay, you end up, they'll say, I got time to do this every week, and they'll quit coming. So once you feel like, we've kind of gone as far as we can go, tell them to consider the rest of the questions on their own time. And then there's 5 other topics for them to use in their personal devotions over the next week. So 5 because they might miss a day or 2 in their devotions or something, right? And so they can you don't have to talk about them at all. You just say, make sure you look at these other things, think about these things, look up some of the verses that are listed, whatever, over the next week, and see you next week. And be willing to spend just a little time getting to know people. In fact, once you finish the 6 weeks, we're going to encourage you on the 7th week to host it again with no curriculum, no lesson, just a time to eat and drink and talk and get to know each other better. okay? Because the point of these grace groups is fellowship, okay? We fellowship around the truth. That's what it says at the bottom. Our purpose, fellowship based on God's truth, or based in God's truth. Obviously, that's our source of what we have in common. Eventually, if everything works out, this goes well, we'll be producing another curriculum while y'all are going through this one. And hopefully, when we get to the next curriculum, it's 7 weeks down the road, hopefully it'll be a place where you'll be like, you know, I think I could invite some people that are not in our church, my neighbor, to this Bible study. But right now, I would encourage you just to do it with the folks who are in your group, okay? And I'll explain that in just a moment. So set a time, set a day, set a place. Let us know what that is. I would encourage you, though it's not required, to pick someone in the church who's not a host and ask them to help you facilitate your particular group, okay? So your best friend in the church who's not already a host, ask them to come and join with you at your home making this happen, okay? So that kind of gets your group going. Letter M, make sure you or a representative for you is ready to sign up participants next Sunday, the 24th. It does not have to be you. It could be you. I'd love for it to be you, but it doesn't have to be you. Here's literally what you're going to do. When I finish my sermon, you're going to stand up, or have somebody else stand up, with a poll, I will make for you, and a sign that has your city, the day of your group, and the time of your group on it, okay? So you'll just be standing there. The person beside you, your spouse or your helper, will have a stack of cards based on how many people you think you can handle in your setting. Okay, so if you say, I think I can handle 8, including me, that's how many cards you'll have. Okay? If you say, I think I can handle 12, that's how many cards you'll have. When I turn the folks loose to go pick a group, once you're out of cards, you sit down and you put your sign away because you're done. Okay? It doesn't mean we can never let anybody else in the group. Okay? But we want to get all the groups filled with people. Hopefully we'll have more people than we have cards. Okay? I'll have a separate set of cards up here for a waiting line. I'm just eager to start groups myself. I'll start 5 of them if I have to, okay? So, but currently I'm not a host. I want to fill your groups up first. I am not going to attend your groups. 2 reasons. Some people will be intimidated by the preacher being there. Number 2, Patrick knows I have a real problem keeping my mouth shut. So I would take over. It's terrible to say, but I would. I would say, well, I got something to say about that. I got something to say about that, okay? So it's probably a good thing I step out of Sunday school most of the time with Brother Mike up here teaching, because I can't keep my mouth shut. Then, letter P. Please pray humbly and honestly for yourself and for your group. Letter L. Let us know if you have any questions or problems anywhere along the way, and follow through. Don't give up. Oh, I forgot I had this on Thursday night. Find a way to make it happen. Okay? Find a way. If you really want it to happen, you can make it happen. Okay? So don't give up halfway through saying, well, I don't have that many people, or it's not going so well, or oh, I forgot I plan to go to Mexico, whatever else. Find a way to make sure to follow through the full 7 weeks. You can read about the curriculum here on your own time, kind of explain a little bit more about this. We try to keep it very simple. We don't want you to feel like you have to have all the answers or even any answers. Your goal is to get to know people, to love people, let them get to know you, to provide a platform for fellowship. I'm not poo-pooing truth, okay? If somebody has questions, we want to answer them. If you feel like you're not qualified, I really don't care. That's fine. Give them my email address. Give them my phone number. Okay? Give them Patrick's information. We'll be glad to do whatever we need to do. Okay? So you will get a DVD if that's what you want. You also have to let us know whether you want to show it through YouTube, or you want to show it from the DVD, or from a flash drive, or we can email you a link, however you prefer. If you have no technology that will work, we will create the technology plan for you to make it work. So there is no situation where, well, this is not going to work because I can't do the technical part of it. Okay? We will make it work for you, whatever we have to. Okay? Any questions? Patrick, have I left out anything? Okay? Pretty simple. I will give you, hopefully next week, the answer key. It'll look just like that, except have all the answers in it. Okay? Doesn't mean you have to study it, but if you're curious, you can look at that. It will also have the links, because all of these videos are already on YouTube. So if you're like, well, I just want to know what it looks like. So you can go and watch one, kind of practice your way through one time, and figure out that, oh, that's pretty simple. Yes, ma'am?
We have these for each member, or should we make copies?
No, you do not have to make copies. Once I know how many is in your group, we will provide that many plus a couple of extras for you. Any other questions?
What is the rotation process?
The rotation process. I don't know what that means.
Switch people later.
Well, our goal is to, if this is a success, I mean, if you were to finish this and say, that was horrible, I want out. Obviously, we're going to pressure you to stay in, okay? Because if you hate it, you're going to be bad at it anyway. But ideally, you're going to love it, they're going to love you, and we just keep on rolling on. Historically, from those that we've talked to, groups that are really bad die naturally. They die a natural death, okay? And so when it comes time to start another group, yes, we will invite other people to become hosts if it works out that way. So ideally, when you have a brand new group that starts, you actually go back and do this curriculum first with that group, because this curriculum is based upon the Great Grace strategy for how the whole church will run all the time. So, but if everything goes well, I mean, in theory, you could have the same group for the rest of your life. Hopefully, your group would not maintain the status quo, but you'd be reaching new people and sending out new hosts. You know, somebody had done it for a year and they're like, I wish I could do this in my home, and kind of help them get started. That's the way the New Testament works. So, there's different models for that. Some groups, some churches, they have their groups grow to a certain size. They split the group in half on purpose. Other models, you just try to raise up new leaders and then they start their own and kind of facilitate that. Any other questions? If it sounds complicated, confusing at all, then please give me a call and say, explain this again. Okay? We will have the video, we will post it, I'll send it to every one of you so you can review whatever I've said if you want to. If you feel like you understand it, you don't have to review it, and obviously we'll be sending it to all the folks who didn't make it today because they had babies and stuff like that. Okay? Anything else? All right, thank you.